In the dusty kennels of Perth, Australia, on April 23, 2007, a litter of Belgian Malinois puppies came into the world. Among them was a spirited pup with sharp eyes and an unrelenting energy, soon named Kuga. Little did anyone know that this bundle of fur would grow into a legend, a war dog whose bravery would echo through the annals of military history. Kuga's journey began in earnest at 8 months old, in January 2008, when he was selected for training with the Australian Special Air Service Regiment, ASR. SASR, an elite unit known for its daring operations, demanded the best, not just from its human soldiers, but from its canine companions too. Kuga's keen senses, boundless drive, and fierce loyalty made him a standout. By April 2009, he was paired with his handler, Sergeant J, a seasoned soldier whose quiet demeanor belied a deep bond with his four-legged partner. Together, they formed an unbreakable team. Their first deployment to Afghanistan came in June 2010, as part of Operation Slipper. The rugged terrain of Uruzgan province was a brutal proving ground. Sweltering days, freezing nights, and the constant threat of Taliban ambushes. Kuga thrived in the chaos. His job was to scout ahead, sniffing out improvised explosive devices, IEDs, and alerting the patrol to hidden enemies. He was a whirlwind of focus, darting through rocky paths and crumbling villages, his ears pricked and tail wagging like a metronome. To Kuga, it was all a game, a deadly serious one, but a game nonetheless. He loved to chew on empty water bottles in downtime, much to the amusement of the squadron, who jokingly scold him for terrorizing their gear. But Kuga's second tour, in August 2011, would test him like never before. On the 26th, he and Sergeant J were part of a Special Operations Task Group, OTG, mission to capture a senior Taliban insurgent in the Uruzgan district. The Black Hawk helicopter thundered low over the arid landscape, its blades slicing through the stifling air. Inside, Kuga sat alert beside his handler, sensing the tension but ready to work. The Taliban lay in wait below, concealed among the trees along a riverbank, their ambush primed to devastate the approaching patrol. As the Aussies touched down, Sergeant J unclipped Kuga's lead, letting him loose to scout ahead. The dog's instincts kicked in immediately. His nose twitched, catching a scent across the creek that bisected the patrol's path. Without hesitation, Kuga bounded into the shallow water, paddling toward the opposite bank. That's when the first burst of automatic gunfire erupted, bullets splashing around him like deadly raindrops. Undeterred, Kuga pressed forward, his wet fur gleaming in the harsh sunlight. He reached the riverbank and charged toward a small tree line, where an insurgent lay hidden. The enemy opened fire again, this time at close range. Kuga lunged, sinking his teeth into the gunman's arm, forcing him to drop his weapon momentarily. But the insurgent fought back, unloading a hail of bullets into the dog. Kuga was hit 5 times, twice in the ear, once in the toe, once in the cheek, the bullet exiting through his neck, and once in the chest, where it tore through his shoulder and shattered his upper left leg. Shrapnel peppered his lower spine. Yet even as pain seared through him, Kuga held his ground, shielding Sergeant J and the patrol from the full brunt of the ambush. Hey, if you're enjoying this incredible story of Kuga's bravery, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to Heroic Tales and Wings on YouTube. We bring you gripping stories of courage and sacrifice like this one every week, so don't miss out. Join our community and let's honor these heroes together. The gunfire gave away the enemy's position. Sergeant J and the patrol returned fire, pinning down the insurgents while Kuga, bloodied and faltering, clung to life on the riverbank. When Sergeant J called his name, Kuga's ears flicked up despite the agony. With a final surge of loyalty, he dragged himself back into the water, swimming toward his handler. Sergeant J waded in to meet him, pulling the wounded dog into his arms as the rest of the team provided cover. Emergency first aid stabilized Kuga long enough for a helicopter evacuation, but the damage was catastrophic. Kuga's fight didn't end on that riverbank. He was airlifted to a field hospital in Afghanistan, then to Germany for advanced treatment, and finally back to Australia for rehabilitation. The veterinary teams marveled at his resilience. He'd survived wounds that would have felled most creatures, but the strain was too much. On July 24, 2012, less than a year after the ambush, Kuga succumbed in the SASR kennels in Perth. Though the exact cause remained inconclusive, it was widely believed his body could no longer bear the stress of his injuries. His death was officially recorded as died of wounds. The squadron mourned him as one of their own. They gathered for a quiet service, placing his ashes in a memorial and unveiling a plaque in his honor. But Kuga's story didn't fade into silence. His actions that day had saved lives. There was no doubt about it. By exposing the ambush, he'd given the patrol the precious seconds they needed to fight back and survive. The SASR soldiers who'd walked that mission nominated him for the PDSA Dickin Medal, the highest honor an animal can receive in military service, often called the Animal's Victoria Cross. On October 26, 2018, at the Australian War Memorial in Canberra, Kuga's legacy was cemented. The PDSA, a British charity founded by Maria Dickin in 1943 to recognize animal gallantry, awarded him the Dickin Medal posthumously. He was the 71st recipient and the first Australian dog to receive it, joining a rare pantheon of 34 dogs, 32 pigeons, 4 horses, and 1 cat honored since World War II. The medal, a bronze medallion inscribed with "For Gallantry" and "We Also Serve," hung on a ribbon of green, brown and blue, was presented to Corporal Mark Donaldson, a Victoria Cross recipient and former SR dog handler, alongside Kuga's canine comrade, retired military working dog Odin. Donaldson spoke for the regiment. Kuga's actions that day in Afghanistan were heroic. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that he saved lives. He just wouldn't give up on his mates and doing his job. Kuga and the other military working dogs in Afghanistan saved countless lives, whether they were finding IEDs or tipping us off to an enemy presence before we'd seen them. Kuga's Dickin Medal is for all the military working dogs who worked alongside us in Afghanistan and every day since. Sergeant J. too carried Kuga's memory. In quiet moments, he'd recall the dog who'd taken bullets for him, who'd crawled through blood and water to reach his side. "He's the one who chose to go forward," he once said. "He's the one who took the bullets for me and my mates. Ultimately, that enabled me to come home to my family." Kuga's tale is one of sacrifice and valor, a reminder that courage knows no species. He wasn't just a dog. He was a soldier, a protector, a friend. In the heat of battle, he gave everything, shielding his handler and his team with a ferocity that defied his wounds. Today, his Dickin Medal stands as a tribute not only to him but to all the unsung heroes who serve silently beside humanity, asking for nothing but a chance to do their job. Kuga's spirit lives on, a beacon of loyalty in a world that too often forgets its debt to those who dare to face the fire.